Back at it again at
Mushoku Tensei Sundays.
Expose him! Expose him!
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Leave me alone!
Please just hear me out.
This episode of Mushoku Tensei was one of the most well-directed episodes I've ever seen. From the masterful use of music, the animation, lore, and perspective this episode gives us, Studio Bind really pulled all the stops for this one. There's a lot to cover, so I'm going to get straight into it. Quick disclaimer, I've only read volumes 1 through 6 of the light novels, so I'm basing my analysis on this episode on that and the anime. I'm just going to come out and say it. I think Persena is cuter than Linnea. It's not that Linnea is not cute, it's just how can you beat this level of cuteness? I feel the tension between Rudeus and Sylphie is nearing its breaking point. Luke looking concerned after realizing how he harshly treated Rudeus because of not knowing that Sylphie hadn't told Rudeus her real name was a fine little detail. Sylphie really wears her heart on her sleeve, and these cute, sad reactions are tearing my heart. After Rudeus learns about Silent 7-Star, he sets his sights on meeting this mysterious figure who does some particularly familiar things. It was revealed in the last season that this mysterious person's name was Nanahoshi. The inventions that this person created, which have striking parallels to things in Japan, was actually a fact revealed earlier on in volumes 5 and 6 of the light novels. The first reference to Nanahoshi influencing this world was a dish known as dragon meat Nanahoshi style. This was a karage dish with rice and vegetable soup the dead end party members stumbled upon in a rundown place in the east port of the Dragon King realm. Another dish that is similar to the previous one is called Nanahoshiyaki, which is a play on teriyaki, but the light novels refer to it as some sort of karage. It was a dish that was developed in the Asuran kingdom, and its influence spread all the way from there to the Kika kingdom. Also, as an avid anime watcher, I understand a few words and phrases from Japanese.
Stop the cap!
The term Nana is 7 in English, and Hoshi can mean star in English, thus the name 7-Star. After Rudeus went to see Nanahoshi, the way Rudeus reacted to her hit hard. I wonder exactly what words the light novel used to describe the pure terror he was displaying here in the anime. That cracked white mask and piercing black eyes all serve as a dreadful reminder of his death many years ago. Even the music that was playing in the background had Orsted-esque vibes that really completed the scene. The transition to the character speaking in a different language was jarring to me at first, but it was really well executed. Looking back, this whole play on the languages was built from the very first episode of Mushoku Tensei. We have actually heard this language being spoken by Zenith and Paul when Rudeus was born. All those episodes were used to pay off this moment in the show.
What's this, you fucking piece of shit?
Nanahoshi mentioned that the dragon god might try to kill Rudeus again. This is a terrifying thought for Rudeus, but it seems to act as some sort of foreshadowing for future events. Not gonna lie, I really want to see Orsted again because his voice is just I honestly want Suda Kenjiro to console me in a lap pillow session just like Fitz did to Rudeus. Nanahoshi is clearly ecstatic to finally have found a breakthrough in all her searches, to the point that she took off her mask and revealed her face. However, her joy is cut short when she realized that Rudeus and herself do not have the same opinion of this world. Her excitement and smile faded as she quickly retreated to her mask. Learning about her travels with teleportation circles found in ruins left over the human-demon wars really built up the lore of the show. Nanahoshi mentions that they are foreign objects to this world. This scene with this world's characters blued out with a monochrome background reminded me of the ending sequence of the last season, where Rudeus is portrayed to be blotted out or missing in this new world. The concept of whether Rudeus truly belongs in this world is brought into question again. This time, Nanahoshi serves as our contrarian on whether or not this world is worth living in. The bargain Rudeus makes with Nanahoshi felt like a deal with the devil. Throughout this whole interaction, Sylphie could not understand a word those two were saying. The way the studio used Sylphie as a visual metaphor and a framing device for portraying the distance Sylphie must feel between herself and what is going on was well done. Sylphie must feel unbearably worried for Rudeus and his connection to Nanahoshi, as she was called over in the first place due to the news of Rudeus passing out. She can easily connect the dots that Nanahoshi seems to be the reason for all the reactions Rudeus has shown so far. It is not impossible to say that her impressions of Nanahoshi were negative. The following scenes were some of the best this show has given us. Seeing Sylphie react the way she did was one of the most emotionally powerful scenes we have seen so far. Studio Bind using that OST that really builds up tension of the scene was a masterclass. The way the music transitioned from quiet to raging, then abruptly going silent, felt really impactful. Both Rudeus and Sylphie have a connection of trauma linked to Nanahoshi now. The rings that Nanahoshi brings out are something I didn't pay much attention to. Those rings obviously gave her the ability to protect herself. She basically knew that someone was probably going to react badly to the news she was about to say and took precautions. Additionally, the fact that Sylvie's spell was dispelled in a similar way that Rudeus stopped hers reminded her once again that Nanahoshi seems to be the root cause for a variety of problems. However, the way Sylvie calms down after a few words from Rudeus was kinda funny to see. The interesting parallels and contrast between Nanahoshi and Rudeus is something I really want to talk about. She considers the world to be an isekai and wants to return to the real world. There are a lot of reasons as to why she hates this world. Feeling like a stranger and having left many of her loved ones behind are major ones. In stark contrast, Rudeus loves this world. The past life he had was filled with nothing but regret, conflict, and entitlement. This second chance at life and all the experiences he got that he never would have in the previous world was like a godsend to him. Even I got the impression that Nanahoshi treats the people in this world like NPCs. But you can't really blame her. It's not like she wanted to come to this world. Her summoning to this world broke her reality and forced her to adapt to this unfamiliar land. She considers herself a foreign object in this world, and by extension, she thinks Rudeus is too. You can only imagine how crushed she might have felt to see Rudeus enjoying this world instead of hating it as she does. The mask she hides behind serves as a way to hide herself from this world. The dilemma of whether our two characters truly belong in this world and their old and new priorities is a fascinating concept. I'm looking forward to how this show handles the conflicting ideas Nanahoshi and Rudeus have. The true cause of the mana teleportation disaster is still unclear, but Nanahoshi seems to have some leads that will allow her to come up with a conclusion. This particular scene of Sylvie lagging behind Rudeus could symbolize the growing distance between them. After all, she learned a lot of things she didn't understand about Rudeus, and now he's going to spend more time with Nanahoshi, a girl that spells nothing but trouble. Something has got to change, and this can only be resolved with Fitz making the decision to tell Rudeus about her feelings and him finally realizing who Sylvie is. Overall, this episode changes everything for Mushoku Tensei moving forward. We learn more about Nanahoshi and her intentions, the lore of this world grows even more, and we might get an explanation for what really happened during the teleportation incident. I really like Nanahoshi's voice actor, and her mannerisms legs were refreshing to see. The details we get from Nanahoshi in the next episodes will be critical in knowing how the story moves forward. The next episode seems to be titled These Feelings, and I hope it has something to do with the progression of Sylvie and Rudeus' relationship. Thank you for watching. We have almost reached 1,000 subscribers in the span of a few weeks, and I am honestly slack-jawed at the growth of this channel. Seriously, thank you for the support. I have a lot more cooking up for this channel, but it's kind of been delayed because of life stuff. I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you guys.